Hi everyone. Let's discuss about ovary. Let's go through its introduction. Ovaries are called female gonads. They are the glands that produce female sex hormones and ovum. And they produce a ovum, and ovum or the ova is the female gamete which fuses with the spermatozoa, the male gamete, and forms zygote. So here this ovum is being produced by uh, this ovary, and that's why they are called female gonads. And ovaries are situated on both sides of the uterus. They are present on both sides of the uterus, one on the right and left. They are present on both sides of the uterus, and they are attached to the upper part of the uterus by a ligament called ovarian ligament. It is attached to the upper part of the uterus by a ligament, and this ligament is ovarian ligament. Okay, so it is attached to the upper part of the uterus by an ovarian ligament, and they are 2.5 to 3 centimeter long. They are about 2.5 to 3 centimeter long, 2.5 to 3.5 centimeter long, 2 centimeter wide. The width is about 2 centimeter, and the thickness is about 1 centimeter. Okay, and let's see the structure. So in the structure, ovaries consist of two layers of tissues, and those two layers include medulla and the cortex. Medulla is the central part, and cortex is the area surrounding the medulla. So this is at the center, there is medulla, and towards the periphery is the cortex. Let's see. So this is an ovary, and at the center, the part at the center is its medulla, and towards the periphery is the cortex. Okay, so in the medulla, this is the inner central part of the ovary. The inner central part of the ovary is medulla, and it consists of fibrous tissue, blood vessels, and nerves. Okay, let's discuss about the cortex. And cortex is the area that surrounds the medulla. It surrounds the medulla. It is surrounding the medulla. This is the area that surrounds the medulla, and it consists of a network of connective tissue. And that is called that network of connective tissue in the cortex is called stroma. It's called the stroma, and it is covered by a layer of epithelium, and that is germinal epithelium. The outer covering is called the germinal epithelium, and covered by germinal epithelium. The cortex contains ovarian follicles. The cortex contains ovarian follicle or the Graafian follicles, and these ovarian follicles are at various stages of development. Some are smaller, some are matured. So the cortex contains ovarian follicles or the Graafian follicles of various stages of development. You can see the primary follicles, then the secondary, then they develop into a mature ovarian follicle. Here you can see they are at various stages of development. Okay, and of various sizes or various stages of development. And the ovarian follicle contain an ovum within it. These ovarian follicles will contain an ovum within it, and they are ovarian follicles. Those follicles that contains an ovum within it. So cortex, it is the part that surrounds the medulla. The outer peripheral part of the ovary is cortex, and it consists of a network of connective tissue called stroma, and this has been covered by a layer of germinal epithelium, And the cortex contains ovarian follicles or the graphene follicles of various stages of development. And this graphene follicle will contain a ovum within it. And these ovarian follicles are inactive before puberty. Before a girl child attains puberty, the ovarian follicles are inactive, and they were present from the birth. Those ovarian follicles were present from birth, but they become active after the puberty. They were all in inactive form, in an inactive stage before puberty, and after the puberty they become active. And during each menstrual cycle, one ovarian follicle will mature, rupture, and will release an ovum into the peritoneal cavity. During each menstrual cycle, one of the ovarian follicle from either of the two ovary uh, will mature, rupture, and will release its ovum into the peritoneal cavity. So you can see that here. The ovarian follicles of various stages of development, they become mature. This is a mature graphene follicle, and rupturing it rupturing and releasing an ovum into the peritoneal cavity. And that process of release of ovum into the peritoneal cavity from the graphene follicle, and that process is called ovulation. Okay. So graphene follicle, during each menstrual cycle, one of them will mature and rupture and will release its ovum into the peritoneal cavity, and that process is called ovulation. And this process is called ovulation. Okay, you can see from first day to the 14th day of the menstrual cycle, the graphene follicle, they become larger and become fully matured. On the 14th day, it rupture and release an ovum into the peritoneal cavity, and that process is that rupturing of the graphene follicle is called ovulation. That usually takes place on the middle of the menstrual cycle. This is in the 14th day of the menstrual cycle. Okay, and let's see the functions of the ovary. The follicle stimulating hormone, or the otherwise called FSH, the follicle stimulating hormone, which stimulates the follicles. Okay, the follicle stimulating hormone, which is released from the anterior pituitary gland. A follicle stimulating hormone, or the FSH, is released from the anterior pituitary. The estrogen is released from the follicles lining cells. The follicle are being lined with the cells, and those lining cells secretes estrogen. They release estrogen. The follicle lining cells, they release estrogen, and FSH is released from the anterior lobe of the pituitary. And both these hormones, FSH and estrogen, help in the maturation of the ovarian follicle. They are involved in maturing the ovarian follicles. Ovarian follicle mature due to the FSH and estrogen. And there is another hormone that is called LH, luteinizing hormone. That too is released by the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland. And this LH is helping in the triggering of ovulation. It initiates ovulation. It starts ovulation. It helps in the breaking down and rupturing of the graphene follicle and releasing the ovum into the peritoneal cavity. That triggering of ovulation is by the hormone called luteinizing hormone, which is also released from the anterior lobe of the anterior pituitary. And this luteinizing hormone is released just few hours before ovulation. Just few hours before the ovulation. And that triggers ovulation. And the ruptured ovarian follicle, the ruptured follicle lining cells become another structure called corpus luteum. After the ovulation, the ruptured follicle lining cells become a structure called corpus luteum, and this formation of corpus luteum is under the influence of LH. This LH is also helping in the formation of corpus luteum. So we can see that here there is rupturing of the graphene follicle, and thereafter the follicle lining cells is forming corpus luteum. That is early stage of a corpus luteum, then later on becomes corpus luteum completely. So here a corpus luteum completely formed. Okay, and the luteinizing hormone released just few hours before the ovulation, and after ovulation the ruptured follicle lining cells become corpus luteum under the influence of luteinizing hormone. And this corpus luteum secretes progesterone and some amount of estrogen. The corpus luteum starts to secrete progesterone and some estrogen. And so here, this is follicle, Graafian follicles of various stages of development. This is a completely matured Graafian follicle which is uh, rupturing and releases ovum into the peritoneal cavity, and thereafter this is a early stage of a corpus luteum, and this is a fully developed corpus luteum. And the fertilized ova, the fertilization, if the fertilization takes place, if it meets the spermatozoa and fertilization takes place, then the fertilized ova gets implanted into the wall of the uterus. It's getting implanted into the wall of the uterus. It is moving through the uterine tube and entering into the uterine cavity, and it's getting implanted into the endometrium of the uterus. And this secretes a hormone, and this secreting a hormone, and that hormone is called human chorionic gonadotropin. The fertilized ova, which is getting implanted into the uterus, secretes hormone called human chorionic gonadotropin, HCG. And during the first 3 months of pregnancy, this HCG stimulates the corpus luteum to secrete estrogen and progesterone. This HCG is stimulating the corpus luteum to continue to secrete progesterone and estrogen, which are so necessary to sustain pregnancy. So fertilized ovum implanting into the uterus, and there is a secretion of HCG, and this HCG is stimulating the corpus luteum to secrete progesterone and estrogen. And thereafter, after 3 months, this function of secretion of estrogen and maintaining the levels of progesterone, thereafter this function is carried out by placenta. That will be performed by placenta. Okay. And if the ovum is not fertilized, in those cases, if the ovum is not fertilized, then the corpus luteum degenerate. It goes degenerating. They go degenerated, and a new cycle begins. And this degenerated corpus luteum forms a mass of fibrous tissue, and that is called corpus albicans. So this degenerated, this is corpus luteum. When they go degenerated, they become a small mass of fibrous tissue, and that is called corpus albicans. Okay. So this was about the ovary, its structure, and its function. So let's just have a summary of it. So in the introduction, we have seen that ovaries are called female gonads. They produce ovum, and the ovum is the female gamete, and these ovaries are situated on both sides of the uterus and attached to the upper part of the uterus, and the ligament through which it is attached to the upper part of the uterus is ovarian ligament, and this is about 2.5 to 3.5 centimeter long, 2 centimeter wide, and 1 centimeter thick. Okay, then we have seen its structure, which is divided into medulla at the center and cortex at the periphery. Okay, then medulla, the central part, the cortex, which is surrounding the medulla and consisting of a network of connective tissue called the stroma. In that stroma, there are Graafian follicles or ovarian follicles of various stages of development, and this cortex is covered by germinal epithelium, and this ovarian follicle, which is under various stages of development, contain an ovum within it. An ovarian follicle, they are inactive before puberty, and they were present from birth, They become active after the puberty, and during each menstrual cycle this ovarian follicle will mature, rupture and release an ovum into the peritoneal cavity. And from the peritoneal cavity this ovum will be caught by, captured by the finger like projections, finger like structures called the fimbriae of the uterine tube, and it moves through the uterine tube. Within the uterine tube it meets the spermatozoa, and the fertilization takes place, and the formation of zygote takes place. Then multiplication of cells takes place, and that is been moving back through the uterine tube into the uterine cavity, goes there into the uterine cavity, and it is getting implanted into the inner layer of the uterus, that is the endometrium. And this release of ovum on the 14th day, that process is called ovulation. Then functions we discussed. So follicle lining cells, follicle stimulating hormone, excuse me, and FSH, which is released from the anterior pituitary, and estrogen released from the follicle lining cells. They help in the maturation of ovarian follicle, and luteinizing hormone, which is again released from the anterior pituitary, also helping in triggering of ovulation. And this also this LH is being released just before ovulation, and that triggers ovulation. And this ruptured follicle lining cells become corpus luteum after the ovulation. It is forming corpus luteum again under the influence of luteinizing hormone, and this corpus luteum secretes progesterone and estrogen. Then fertilized egg also getting implanted into the wall of the uterus. It secretes HCG, human chorionic gonadotrophin, and this stimulates corpus luteum to continue to secrete estrogen and progesterone. And thereafter this secretion of progesterone is being carried out by placenta, and if the ovum is not fertilized, this corpus luteum will again degenerate, and the new cycle will begin. And this degenerated corpus luteum forms a mass of fibrous tissue called corpus albicans. And that's all about ovary. And thank you very much.